I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. I got joy, peace, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I was born like this, it's born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, without you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that pull against the bed, this that I got royalty inside my DNA.
Welcome to the Tokyo Redirect. It's been a long time coming, and we're finally closing in on our closed community milestone. Today we're going to cover various things about the game, such as movement, combat progression, PvE, and our release roadmap. I think I speak for the team in saying that we're extremely excited to finally let you guys in on what we've been up to. In Tokyo Re, movement is huge for us. Not only in function, but in feel. It's important that it's tight, responsive, and rewards skill expression. Outside of combat, you'll chain together movement to perform acrobatic maneuvers that'll help you explore and traverse the city. In addition to the typical double tap W to run, you can further enhance this mode of transportation by holding down mouse 2 and pressing Q while you're running. Furthermore, we have directional dodging that you can cancel with a right click, form a dash into a dash cancel. Now that we have the typical movement mechanics that come standard in these types of game out of the way, let's talk about what we call advanced mobility. As I've said before, movement is huge for us. We want players to be able to interact and move throughout the city in a way that will make them truly feel as if they are their favorite character in Tokyo Ghoul. We want it to be expressive, but also play a key part in progression. Ghouls will naturally move more effortlessly than humans, but to supplement that, humans will have access to tools such as grappling hooks, deployable ladders, zip lines, and more to bridge the gap. And for anyone worried about runners, worry not. When you're in combat, you will not receive any of your stat or race scalings for parkour. And as your health lowers, your parkour abilities become less and less efficient. Combat is just as, if not more important to us than movement. It'll continue to evolve over time, but everything must fit and exist for a reason. We actively avoid fluff features just because they're trendy. I'll now pass it off to Wiz and Ponko to explain base combat.
So the first thing we're covering in Direct is combat. As many of you guys know, the game is parry-based, but we're trying to create our own formula for Tokyo Re, so while there may be some mechanics from other games that you may see, other parry games, we also have unique mechanics to Tokyo Re only, and we're very excited to show you guys these mechanics in this Direct. For all Kagenes and weapons, we have basic attacks with your primary mouse button. You can also feint your swing by right-clicking during the wind-up, as you can see, and this allows for some opportunity to kind of mix up how the combat flow will be, because we don't want a back and forth with like an hour of blows. We kind of want to have a fast-paced combat. For criticals, pressing R will do a critical, which has a larger wind-up than your basic attack, and it also does more posture. Some weapons or Kagenes have situation-dependent criticals. So for example, Ukaku has both a regular crit and an aerial crit. But for most weapons and Kagenes, they will only have one standalone crit when you press R. So there's a small yellow bar above your health bar, and what it is like most parry games have this, it's posture, and if you max it out, you'll be guard broken for a little bit before it resets back to 0. So as you can see, once your posture bar is maxed out, you will be guard broken, which leaves some time for your opponent to land some hits and possibly combo.
So onto the segment with extra defensive options and combat options. There are a few mechanics that aren't really unique in their own, but they spice up combat in a few ways. We have things like running attacks, as you've seen in things like Deep Open, etc. Jumping attacks. And the animation for jumping and running attack, of course, varies depending on weapon. Each class for CCG has a different one: heavy, light, medium, and base fist has its own. So base fist will be just the kick. As for defensive options in the game, we have the basic blocking, parrying, dodging, etc. There's all those fun things from the games that have come out lately. But there's also a thing called C dodge, spot dodge, and what it is basically a neutral tool that helps level the playing field between you and your opponent. It's somewhat of, I guess, a perception blitz mechanic. So I'll test it out with spot dodge my breaking blow. He goes invisible for a short period, and during that he gets iframes. And whenever you attack during it, it just cancels the invisibility and iframe. So you won't get any like weird combat scenarios where they just iframe through everything and they can hit you the entire time. That'd be awful. As you see, it could cancel out his invis completely.
To quickly summarize, we have blocking, parrying, banish dodging, normal dodging, basic attacks, critical attacks, aerial attacks, and running attacks. Another key feature to our combat system is stamina economy, or stam econ. Using skills and basic attacks consumes stamina. With no stamina, you will not be able to perform skills. However, you will be able to perform basic attacks. The trade-off for attacking with no stamina is that you no longer receive any stat-related scaling for your attacks and skills. When you land hits with your basic attacks, you'll be awarded double the stamina that you spent to perform said basic attack. This will punish players who mindlessly spam and result in a combat dynamic that rewards accurate aggression. Additionally, we have a mechanic called skill bursting. Simply put, it allows you to sacrifice extra stamina to cancel your M1 in lag to perform a skill. This is similar to animation canceling in many other games, but rather than it being a bug to abuse, it's a mechanic to learn. To perform a skill burst, you must land a basic attack, and you will be given a small window to skill burst. If you then use a skill during this window, you will perform skill burst. That essentially covers the foundation of our combat system. There are other mechanics that we'll later cover in the progression segment of the video, but for now, we're going to run a few spars to showcase all of these systems and mechanics in action.
GG's, bro.
Oh my,
Holy.
wait, what?
That fight was so... Okay.
man. Ah. Yeah, Renkaku is. That move is crazy. Very nice, very nice. Whenever you're ready to go.
It's not. I have 90. Or 90 on Great. Why am I on? Oh, what? My bad. I thought you guys were on Oh, are you I'll send you my stuff. I didn't know we were doing like 20.
Progression is another key pillar to the experience in Tokyo Re. We've slogged through all of the same tired gameplay loops that you guys have, and we're attempting to change things up a bit. For us, progression is not only how the player will become more powerful, but also a means for us to immerse the player within the game world. We start off in Shibuya Station. We're meant to find our good friend Nao, who is meant to welcome us to Shibuya. If you'll notice in the back, there is a fog wall. This functions as a prevention method for players accessing areas they lack specific quest data for. After talking to Now, we will be told to rendezvous with him at a famous curry spot called Snark's Curry. It should be noted that our game functions on an origin system. You will be able to earn different origins to change up and even provide advantages in new progressions. Ideally, this system will be expanded onto great lengths in the future to allow for a wide variety of starting points in a player's story. It seems as though our friend Now has gotten himself in a bit of trouble. After attempting to find out what's going on, we were threatened by Choshi. It seems like there's no backing down, so we're gonna have to subdue Choshi to defuse the situation. As it would seem, Choshi was simply just upset over not getting his daily bowl of Snark's curry. After helping him settle down, he lets us in on his networks and hookups. Choshi will now serve as a mission/quest giver NPC from the Yakuza faction, which will allow the player to acquire yen, loot, and other various items. In Tokyo-Ri, an important element to making the perfect build are skill instincts. These will allow you to attach powerful effects and functions to your skills, and in some cases, they will alter skills entirely, changing them into different variants of themselves. Instincts will be acquired through various means, ranging from quest giver NPCs to boss drops. While useful instincts like Anti-Heal will simply disable healing for 8 seconds when procced, more powerful instincts such as Phantom Blade will allow you to create shadow clones that perform subsequent basic attacks upon hit. This effect can chain indefinitely. In addition to instincts, you can also build for status procs and build-up. On screen, you can see as Wiz hits me with his attack, a bleed status starts to build up on the left-hand side of my screen. Upon reaching a full bar, I take a massive 15% of my total HP as true damage. Progression for ghouls will of course involve the typical acquisition of RC to further enhance their Kagane-related abilities. But, to avoid any pay-to-win or soulless gambling mechanics, you will obtain your Kagane through the mutation system. In addition to Kagane obtainment, the mutation system can also be used for semi-Kakuja and eventually full Kakuja obtainment, as well as the other wide variety of different upgrades for ghouls throughout their progression. Maintaining anonymity will be a constant struggle for ghouls as they reach higher and higher for power. As a CCG investigator, you will have the ability to study players and upload reports on them to a CCG global database. Being on this database and labeled as a ghoul will subject you to being tracked and hunted by the CCG faction.
we're gonna bring up people, or
Yeah. We'll probably start bringing up people. So it's gonna go ahead and take us into the Snark Curry Shop with all of us in here. Like he's sitting behind the box back there. Let me go ahead and get him in camera.
Hello.
There he
Hello.
is.
Hello.
All right. Yeah. So I guess I'll just let you guys bring people up one at a
all
time.
right.
Okay, I'll start up.
Alright.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. What's up?
What's up, man?
What's up? Alright. Okay. I got maybe 2 questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
First, with the prog, right?
Uh-huh.
With the prog, is it gonna be like, can you split between PvE and PvP? Or
Yes. So basically, the way it's set up currently, and we're flexible when it comes to this, but the way it's set up currently is that you're going to have to progress to a certain point with PvE or PvP. It doesn't matter. You can choose between PvE and PvE at a certain point. I think the current rank that we have is D, but once you reach D, you will need to participate in PvP to progress.
is there gonna be like a faction type, like a Glad or like some type of event between the two factions?
Yeah, so that's actually a good question for a reason that you might not have actually known. One of the things that's important to us in the game is that we're not just throwing mechanics or systems into the game just because everybody else has them and that's like the trendy thing to do. It's pretty
Yeah.
important to us that everything sort of fits in place, and one of the things
Okay.
that I definitely do want to have in the game is Glads. But
Glads, yeah.
not to sort of spoil or leak, the way they'll get introduced into the game will be a little bit different than they have been in other games. But they will be in the game and they'll make sense. They won't feel gimmicky. It'll feel like a real mechanic that should fit the game. So yes.
Okay, yeah. I have just 2 quick questions, right? And like they'll come off of each other. My first question is, are there multiple jobs? Because I see you guys in the curry shop or whatever. Are there more jobs than just the coffee making one in Onteku, stuff like that?
Yeah, well, so at the moment, our focus is kind of solidifying the main 2 origins, and that'll make more sense eventually for you too. But solidifying the main 2 origins, but yes, the plan is for there to be a plethora of jobs for you to do as a ghoul, trying to fit in as a civilian, or just as a civilian,
Okay.
pre-CCG progression. So yeah.
Yo, alright. I have like 2 questions real quick. One, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct, but Coach Leia, like the gel,
Cochlea.
yeah, would that be like used for progression or like some type of event in the story?
That's a really good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. The cochlea will be extremely important to this game, and specifically important to a hot button for this genre of game in general, and that being permadeath. But yes, the cochlea will have massive impact and utility in the game.
Hello.
Hey guys, I have 3 questions, if that's okay.
Uh-huh.
So, small context, when I saw Tokyo for the first time, I only focused on the coffee sneak that you guys posted.
Right, okay.
So I was really curious on if you guys will actually improve on the coffee system, and if you're gonna add something like similar to that, like for example a cooking system, or something that I thought of was a smithing system. All of these are like pretty much not needed stuff. But Tokyo is like one of the first games to even include a coffee making system like that in Tokyo. So
Yeah,
wanted
so
to ask if you will improve on it.
there's actually, we talked about that recently internally. Yeah, absolutely. That is something that we're super passionate about, is having all kinds of different ways for the player to interact with the game world in a way that makes them really feel a part of it. So without a doubt, and I even want to further expand that into like a cooking system where a player could get proficient at cooking, and that could provide them food buffs, and have unique dishes that you can kind of throw together with a sort of robust cooking system like that. That sort of thing is the kind of stuff that gets me excited. So absolutely.
I'm glad I made a suggestion about that. Then that's cool. Okay.
Without a doubt.
I was wondering if there and I heard about this pretty much from the community, but people said that lore will not be tied to Tokyo Ghoul, as in there's no Kaneki, there is no this, there is no that. Can someone push himself into a lore if he does enough? Can
Yes.
some faction be
But
a main thing?
Yeah.
the lore
Yeah.
is not canon. We have our own lore and follow our own baseline. Nothing is actually canon to Tokyo Ghoul, but if somebody try enough, like work hard enough, they can be implemented in the lore themselves.
Yeah,
Yes.
basically, I don't know. We handle that in like a really proficient way, with especially with like some other quote unquote official factions you'll see in game. Like you can earn them with like activity, being good at the game, just showing up, being a cool person. Like we give you like individual stories and arcs, and we actually want you to be important and feel important.
And you could be potentially taken as a faction leader if you work hard enough in that way, and potentially have your own canon faction to the lore of the game.
Yeah, and as a clarifying statement on how lore works into the game and like how it maybe ties into or interacts with canon lore, is there will be characters that exist in the canon that will exist in this universe, but basically what they had said is that we want everybody to feel like the main character of their own story, right? And even if that potentially means them actually affecting the way CC goes lore-wise, etc. But Kaneki, he will exist in this universe, but he's going to exist as a version of himself that never actually went on that date with Rize. We're essentially just going to have him in the Ontario coffee shop reading his book, and he'll just be there. So...
Yo,
Good
yes, sir. What's good?
Yo.
Thank you, Psyche. I just had a question for like the builders and the on the stage. I was wondering like on like a comparison scale, like how big is the map? Like on like an estimate, or let's see like you can show if possible. But like I was wondering if like the map was like equivalent to like Etri and Luminate from Deep Oaken or something in size scale, or is it like a bit lesser?
That's low-key, it's kind of a hard question to answer because the map features a bunch of enterable areas that like you sort of TP to. They're like instance-based TPs. So I would say the map is large enough. It's not one of these games where you're just gonna run through empty streets and kind of like never need the space that you have. But also on top of the map is certainly big enough to support the kind of game we're trying to make here. But also it's very dense. So you have rooftops, you have instanced TPs where you can go in. You have real interiors, sort of like the one we're in now. And then that's all besides the point of having also like the general streetways and alleyways and whatnot to play around in. So I think on a scale of 1 to 10, how big is a map? I would give it like a very safe 6 to 7. But then when you add the density, I would probably put it at about an 8.
So my question is, okay, so NPCs, I've seen a lot of sneaks, bro, but like they went into depth. So I saw like Jason, normal NPCs, all that. So what are the systems? How crazy are you planning to make them? And like how smart are they gonna be?
So actually, that's a pretty good question. So the thing is, what I've come to find out while making the NPCs is that smart NPCs don't actually necessarily equal fun to fight against. And the way I found that out was just by fighting, the old versions of the AI a ton. And basically what I found is like it doesn't feel great when they parry everything you do, when they dodge a lot of what you do, when they, like sort of stunt your combos and whatnot. And what felt better was a more Elden Ring styled NPCs where they have movements, or sorry, they have sort of crowd AI where they they don't bunch up, where they sort of have move sets and you have to learn those move sets and respect them until you do know them. So that's essentially the functionality of them right now. And this is something that we're rapidly improving all the time, just trying to make that as good as possible, because PvE will be a pretty big part of the game.
All right.
But yeah. Yo.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for when it comes to customization on characters. How in depth can we go? And like when we start, how does the outfit system come to play?
Yeah,
Like, do we have a
so-
set outfit or is it random?
I think the best way, at the moment, it's a set outfit. It'll probably be either slightly random or we'll give you options to choose from the character menu. But to just sort of answer that question in the most fundamental way, I'll just sort of try and list out all the different things that you should be able to do, especially by public release. Maybe not necessarily Wave 1, but certainly Wave 2. So first things first, just to get these out of the way, you have a head, a face, a torso, arm, and leg slot for equipment to put on. Past that, you'll have facial scars, face types, eye types, nose types, mouth types. Your hair color can be dyed. Your armor, your 3D armor can be dyed. Your 3D head accessories will be able to be adjusted on the pitch, yawn, and rotation of them. And then past that, you have a signature color, and we even have heterochromia built into the game. So yeah, all of that stuff will. There's gonna be tons of customization. Like, there's gonna be plenty of edgelords, plenty of interesting characters. So yeah, tons of customization.
Amazing. Okay. Is there fast travel in vehicles in the game? Something like that for CCGs, maybe?
There isn't currently, but I think I had answered a comment like that once before, where I said I definitely do want to have some sort of fast travel, like maybe not necessarily full on cars, but like bikes, skateboards, things to that degree. I'm so down for. Maybe even motorcycles, but not full on cars necessarily.
Okay. What about keyboard and mouse for console players? So if you're using keyboard and mouse on Xbox.
So I'm completely okay with allowing Xbox players to play the game. But as far as taking the time to do any sort of Xbox support, that won't necessarily be a thing on Drop, as we are focusing on solidifying and polishing up our systems and our content and all of that stuff. But if for whatever reason we just blaze through it all and we get everything sorted, I would be totally open to adding keyboard and mouse support for console.
Alright guys, that's going to wrap up the official Tokyo Redirect. There's so much more I wanted to talk about and so much more I wanted to show, but for now you'll have to wait. As for the questions that you're all here for, when is release? I will now go over our full Tokyo release roadmap and plan. At the end of this month on September the 30th, we will begin our Wave 0 testing phase. This will serve as our own test run for the system's game and stability. Following that, on October 10th, we will start the official Wave 1. Following that, on November 1st, we will release our first semi-large content update and begin Wave 2. And after that, on December 5th, the game will go into its CC finale event and subsequently be closed for a short maintenance period. And finally, on New Year's Eve, Tokyo will release to the public. We will allow players to try the game for free for 1 whole week. Following that, it will go under a short 1-day closure for a final polish and be re-released in public or paid access for the foreseeable future. I speak for the team when I say it's been a dream come true to get to work on this game, and I cannot wait for you guys to experience Tokyo Thank you all again for the love and support. It means the world to us. We will be seeing you all very soon.